Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So as you can probably see, I'm going big. This is a 30 by 30 inch canvas. I want to do something similar to what I've done here. So I'm going to use some embroidery hoops, but I'm going to use 6. I don't know if I'm taking on too much, but I want to push my boundaries, get out of my comfort zone and just explore my creativity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 embroidery hoops. I've also got a feather. So you can guess I'm going to do some swiping, but I also want to create that 3D effect. So I'm going to have some base colours, which are going to be blues and white. I'll take you down in a minute so you can see the colour palette. And then I'm going to swipe with some metallic colours. So I've got a gold, a silver and a copper. I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is a big experiment on a big canvas, but most of all, I'm just really excited to just have a little bit of fun and explore my creativity with these techniques. So I hope you'll join me along the way. Let's see what we can create. So let's just have a quick look at the colours and the consistencies. So these are the colours that are going to be on the base. I've got a white, I've got a King's blue, I've got a phthalo blue, and I've got a pearl Arctic blue. 3 of them are from Amsterdam, 1 is Arteza. And then my swipe colours, the gold, the copper and the silver, they're all iridescent colours by Pebeo. So, as you can see, I've mixed all my paints up with pouring medium and water, and you can see that it drizzles off of the spatula, if I can say drizzle, drizzles off of the spatula into the cup and then just kind of disappears. So that's the consistency for all of these paints. I will of course put lots of details and information in the description box below. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. So this is how I envisage the design on top. So I've got my embroidery hoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I'm just going to place those to one side for a second. And I'm going to now prepare my cups. And I'm literally adding one colour at a time in the cups. And I'm going to layer those colours one by one until I have a full cup for each. And the idea is to basically use these cups and do ring pours where the embroidery hoops will be. So I want a different pattern within the embroidery hoops compared to the canvas surface. So a couple of different techniques and hopefully some varying patterns across the full piece. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take each cup and I'm going to do 6 different ring pours across the canvas, stretch it out and place the embroidery hoops on top of those designs. Now this is a large canvas, 30 inches by 30 inches. So I'm just picking it up and I'm just tilting out some of that paint that will form part of the ring pours. So the idea is within each embroidery hoop will be a different pattern. A pattern that you can see here from the ring pours. And then on the outer edges of the embroidery hoops will be a swipe. But first of all, let's put the embroidery hoops back on the canvas, all 6 of them, within the area of the ring pours. So you'll see what I mean when I say there will be a different pattern within each embroidery hoop. So now all the embroidery hoops are in place. I'm going to use all the excess paint from the cups and literally place it on the canvas, and I'm just using my palette knife to spread the paint out across the canvas just so the full base is covered. I'm then going to add some metallic colours around the rings on the outer edge and swipe. Let me just show you here now all those different patterns from the ring pour within those embroidery hoops. So you can see all those lines within the hoop themselves. And then the idea is to take the metallic colours and layer those colours on the outer edges of the embroidery hoop. So you can see here I'm starting with silver, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of gold, a few dots of gold around that edge. And I'm going to do that all the way round the embroidery hoops, but using a different colour as the most prominent colour. So for this area, I really want silver to be the prominent colour. And then all I'm going to do with different width tools, I'm going to just swipe. I almost want like a hatching effect, all different lines over each other, under each other. And I'm going to achieve that just by swiping in different directions using different width tools. So here I've started with a piece of plastic, which is quite a wide tool to use for the swipe. And then what I'll do is I'll then transfer to the toilet paper and use the toilet paper to swipe. By using different widths, I'm able to create a different depth to this piece. And as I continue to swipe, I will reduce the width of the toilet paper. As I swipe, I lay the tool on top of the paint and drag the paint that's on the toilet paper in a different direction. And you can see here the idea is to create all different lines in different directions on the canvas. I'm using the silver and the gold in this area to almost act as a shadow effect. This is going to be a very subtle colour change, but this area now is going to be with the gold. And I'm going to use this to swipe again with the plastic and then reduce the size of the swipe tool in width to create that depth. On top of this gold, I'm also adding some copper because again, I want this effect to really kind of be a shadow across the full piece, but not that it's going to have to be really prominent. I just want a subtle shadow around the rings and across the canvas. So this final area is going to be more prominent in copper colour with a dash of gold and a dash of silver. And again, I'm just going to swipe by allowing the toilet paper to soak into the paint on the outer edge of the embroidery hoop and then dragging that paint across the canvas using the toilet paper in all different directions, creating various lines that appear to be on top of other lines or underneath other lines. This is about creating depth and texture outside of those embroidery hoops. I'm now taking my turkey feather, and the idea is to get that turkey feather into those corners where those circles meet. I'm literally creating very thin, subtle lines across the canvas using the turkey feather. So I'm happy with the amount of lines that I've created. So I'm now going to remove the 6 embroidery hoops from the canvas. So when we placed the embroidery hoops down initially, we ensured that they really connected with the paint on the surface. So when you go to remove your embroidery hoop, just do it slowly, tilt it to an angle to allow the paint to pop away from the base, and then remove the embroidery hoop. By doing it that way, you will minimize any splashes. Let me take you in now so you can see a close-up of the detail. We've got all those lines that were created with the swipe, and then within each of those embroidery hoops, we've got the original ring pour that we did right at the beginning. I'm going to let this dry, but I do feel that I might need to add a little bit of an outline to some of those rings, just so they really pop out from this design. I wanted to do an all blue palette, just so it was subtle, but I do think I'm going to include a darker blue around those rings once it's dry, to just help those rings really pop out. Don't forget to check out the description box where I add all my ratios, all my paints, all my brands, and lots more information. And if you're enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up, and if you feel like sharing it out, then please do so. So here's the dry version. As I said, I felt that I really needed to just add an outline to some of those rings, just to allow them to really pop out from that canvas. I love almost the chaos feel of the background with all the various swipes where all those lines are layered and interlinked, and then those details of those hoops and the ring pour within those embroidery hoops. I feel like by adding an outline to these rings, and by the way I use a Prussian blue to do the outline, it just helps those rings really pop out and create that 3D effect to this creation. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know if you're going to attempt something like this too, or if you've got a colour palette you'd like me to try this with, then let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye!